Hello and welcome to Affinity. In the my color models macros, which you can get free, just look for the 3M dominance model macros and download it. That will show you how to do it. I'll put a link down below to where to go. And if I open this up here, I've got in here this 3M dominance, and it's the gaps here we're going to use, and it does some useful stuff. So I just click on that, and it runs, and fairly quickly comes up here with some interesting stuff. But normally I just turn that off because I can open it up and I've got three things in here. And let's have a look at what that actually means. And what it is, each pixel is red, green and blue, and one of them is going to be the maximum, one's going to be the minimum, and the other one's going to be in the middle. And what this does, the macro, it picks out the gap between the maximum and the middle and the minimum, and the maximum and the minimum. And you can do a whole bunch of stuff with these, as we'll see. Something of note with this is if the gap between the maximum and the middle is kind of higher, that means the middle is going to push this down, so the max color, in this case red, is going to show through more strongly, so that it's going to be as you can see up here, quite strongly, that's red more than green or blue. And similarly, if the gap between the min and the mid, this means the mid's pushed up effectively, so you're going to get the max and the mid reacting together more. So when you get two colors which are close together, then you're going to get something like yellow or cyan or magenta, which are the secondary colors. And you can also, if you look at the gap between the maximum and the minimum, this is related to saturation. And it's because when all the colors are together and there's no maximum minimum gap, or very small, then this is what the grays and the whites and the blacks look like. So let's go back and have a play with these things here. The first thing you can do with this is I can take this and bring it down to just above that one here, and I'll just close up that for the moment. I've got it turned off. So now I've got this here. And I can simply take that and play with blend modes. So this is one of the things you can do. And I just scan down here and you start to get all kinds of interesting effects within this. So you can make like a black and white with color pops. You can change the colors of things with it. So there's all kinds of useful things. You go down here and then you'll just bump into all kinds of, hey, that's cool. So let's just leave this on something, just leave it on color dodge for now, which if you turn off and on, see that's brightened up, in particular those primary colors like the red here. Something else that we can do. Let's take the second one to do something different. I'm going to click on that, and if I go to the channels and go down to the mid minus min, this is mid minus min here, I can then right click one of those, doesn't matter which one it is, and say create spare channel. Because it's monochrome, it's all going to be the same. Now if I go to my background layer here and say let's put in an HSL adjustment, and I'm going to go to that point there and I'm going to right click on that and say load to HSL adjustment alpha. In other words, it's going to effectively form the mask. And now with that, I can start adjusting things here. And I can alt click on it to see what it looks like. And what it's showing here is the secondary colors. For example, the yellow here, that's coming through more strongly. So it's going to affect those yellows more strongly than other things, which is kind of useful here because the eye sees the yellow as being very bright, and so it's a very distracting thing. Because it's in the background, you may want to turn it down. So if I go back to that and I turn down the saturation on that, that's going to turn down that yellow. So there you go, that's something else I can do with this. A third thing I can do, we're looking at the saturation layer here. If I alt click on that, and I could do this with the other layers as well, is the whites here they're not as bright as the other areas, and they could be lighter. So the way to do this is to effectively stretch the histogram to the ends, and I just click on auto levels, and that brightens up there, so that really pushes things from one end to the other, and this gives me a quite strong control. And I could have done that on the others as well. If I go to this one and I go and create another sphere channel, so the max minus min, so red, green or blue, they're all the same. Right click there, create sphere channel, and now I can go down to here and let's just put in another HSL to show it works, and right click that second one down. You can rename those so you can know exactly what they are, and say load to HSL shift adjustment. And now what I can do is if I change this, I'm changing the saturation of the whole thing, but only selected by this. So when I turn this up now, those which are saturated get more saturated. But what if I want to go the other way around? I don't want to increase the saturation of the saturated thing. I want to increase the saturation of those which are not so saturated. And I just invert it. So I just go to that, Control I, I've now inverted it. So now when I turn up the saturation, it's the less saturated areas. So I'm effectively doing a rebalancing. So this is a bit like the vibrance control, but slightly different. So there we go. There are 3 different layers, 3 different things you can do with them, and there's a lot more combinations and things in ways that you can just mix and match and do new things, because this is a new model. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.